Here's an interesting stat for you guys. It's kind of crazy is that did you know during tax season, that is the #1 most popular time for information to be stolen. Now, how do people do it? You might not know this, and I didn't realize this till a couple years ago. Do you know if you put information into the trash, it is open game? Anyone, as long as it's in an alley or on the street, anyone is legally allowed to dig through your trash. Well, with the advent of the internet and all the information that's available, if they can just get a teeny piece of information about you, it can literally destroy your credit. It can take years and years and years to get it corrected. It's called identity theft. And the easiest way for that to happen is people getting your information because you just carelessly tossed it away. I no longer worry about that because I actually have one of the original embassies that has the multi-feed in the back, and I love mine. We moved from a couple thousand square feet to under 700 square feet, and I built one space on a shelf because you can kind of tuck it away easily, and I closed the door, and literally there's a plug so that I specifically, my embassy would fit in my new little teeny weeny place because I shred anything that has even a little bit of information on it, and I use my machine. Now, my machine's probably now a good couple years old, and do you know it's still working as effectively 2, 3, 4 years later as it did when I first bought it. This machine is a slimmer design. It has the largest capacity. It's also the most powerful design we offer. You can do 10 sheets in the front, and you can do, listen to this, 130 sheets of continuous shredding in the back. You place it in there and you walk away and you forget about it. Now let's do colors. Do I only have 3 colors left? Is that it? Oh my, okay, here we go. This one is gonna be our gold. I think we're calling it gold. Oh, champagne gold, very nice, okay. The one down here is gonna be just your classic black. That, by the way, I love the black because if you happen to leave it out, it kind of dissolves into the room. You don't notice it so much. And then finally over there is gonna be our silver, so I only have 3 colors left. Here is your chance to be able to pick it up and get it on 4Flex, and we have free shipping and handling. All right, so Bill is joining me, our favorite Irish fellow, who I'm sure is getting ready for St. Patty's Day tomorrow. Hi, Bill, welcome back.
Thank you, Suzanne, glad to be back. And yes, I'm getting ready for St. Patrick's Day. You should be too, but that blue looks great on you.
Thank you.
But the thing is, we all need a paper shredder because yes, as you said it, our identity is out there, but a lot of us are just, you know, it's too complicated, it jams, it doesn't keep up. There's not many devices out there that the federal government even tells us we should get. We went to the Federal Trade Commission, and they even said we all should have shredders to help protect our identity. So realize all our embassy shredders are customer picks. This is one of the most powerful ones, largest capacity and a shiny finish. 10 sheet capacity in the front, but then if that's not powerful enough because you put it off, this door will open up, and that allows me to, wait a second, I have this huge stack of 130 pages. And maybe it's just 40 pages. Maybe it's 60, 90 pages. I can take all of it or half of it, load it up, and yes, walk away. Because this continuous auto shredder will just keep going and going. Huge upgrade. But you also have to realize, even though this is engaged, it doesn't mean I have to wait for all 130 to finish. I can be shredding in the front at the exact same time. So whether it's clutter, whether it's the junk mail that's coming in, whether it's all the stuff that has just been burying us that we want to get rid of, we're doing it properly. And this is what you're walking away with. Microcut. It's a smaller shred. Realize this is all on casters, which is great to wheel it away, pull it out when you want. Larger peekaboo window. I'm going to pause this for a moment. Larger waste receptacle too. 5.5 gallons to collect stuff. Because Suzanne, I'm like you, I got a really small home office. To have a waste bin and a shredder and computer equipment, this is my trash can, and this becomes also my shredding bin. But let me just show you the difference. This is what Microcut is. This is the latest craft project, everybody. Look at how fine and small that shred is. And that's important. It's an evolution. Because if you're still shredding with something like this is 50-year-old technology you're trusting your credit score and your identity to. So upgrade. And it's as simple as just getting this home. And I got to tell, oh, actually, before I put this away, these shiny finishes are primarily because it's our today's special. Normally it's just matte, you know, matte gray, matte black. They've given us a nice luster to it because it is a today special. I'm gonna swap out that one for a clear bin because I want you to see Microcut in action as we go. So 5.5 gallon bin, I've loaded up over here. And the cool part is, while this is shredding, I can go, you know, start making dinner, get ready for tomorrow, make my drinks or whatever I need to make. And the thing is, this is where shredding can be fun again. And shredding should be fun because if we're using it, we're less likely to be a victim of identity theft. Because as you said, Suzanne, what's happening? Right now, all of us are going through tax season, right? 49% of all identity theft happens right now. So half of all identity claims happens during this time of year because we're getting stuff sent to us in the mail, we're printing stuff off the computer, we're finding stuff in boxes we forgot about, and then we're just throwing it away. We can't do that. I'm adding staples. I'm auto shredding in the back. I can take this stack of documents, load it up, doesn't have to be pretty, and it does its job. No Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth. Just get it home, plug and play. And being a Today Special, I can't stress this enough. This is a big box. The box itself and everything weighs about 30 pounds. The unit is just over 20 pounds, but it ships to you for free today. We don't always get to offer that. And we give you a care package of 6 lubricant sheets to keep it nice and oiled, a bin liner. But you're gonna be impressed because you're like, I don't have that much to shred. All of a sudden you're like, wait a second, I'm loving this. What else can I shred? I wanna shred this, I wanna shred that. Because as you were saying, Suzanne, you use it all the time to help manage the clutter, because that in and of itself is a savings, but you're also doing it smart because you're protecting yourself too.
Oh my gosh, that's what I think of every time too, and I love it.
Right.
I love the fact that it's so efficient, it's so quick. If I need to load some big thing up in the back, it's so easy because I just do it and I get to walk away and it just shreds away, and I can multitask, which makes you really happy. But for me, Bill, it's truly peace of mind. You know I do not want anybody to have access to my information. My brother's had his credit ruined because of it. I know Marlo Smith spent years trying to correct something that had been stolen from her information. It can ruin your credit, and it is so hard, it takes so long, and it's so expensive to rebuild the history, to go and say, okay, this is what happened here, I've got to prove it. It's a nightmare, you guys. And I always feel like if it takes that much money and that much time to fix that, why not just be proactive? Because for what our flex pay on tonight, we've got 5 flex, so what are we doing? It's $32.50. That is worth potentially thousands of dollars in time and money trying to fix if you get your information stolen. And I'm not gonna risk that. I don't want people to have any of my doctor information. I don't even wanna have my address. So literally, I go through my mail and I do what I can recycle. I mean, I can recycle all of it, which also makes me happy because it's little pieces and I don't mind recycling that. But I put the stuff that I don't care so much about in one recycling pile, and then the other one is all that sensitive information. And every single day, I'm getting something that I don't want anybody to get a hold of. So I use mine consistently. How many of you got a shredder years ago? I know my producer Jared, he told Adam a story that he bought one like in the 80s, and it was so bad and it was so poorly made that he just stopped shredding. But you still have that little worry on your shoulder going, uh-oh, what happened if something gets ripped off? So now's the time, Jared and everyone else, to get this type of shredder because it's going to do the microcut, which makes it impossible for someone to put it together and try to read your information. If you're using an old shredder, if you've got one that doesn't work really well, does it get jammed all the time? Do you have the kind where you've got to take the staples out and take everything out and it's got to be perfect and you feed one at a time? That means those shredding piles just pile up because you don't want to take the time to do all that. With this one, did you see Bill start to staple it and then he just shoved it in there? You don't have to baby it. They're powerful and they're strong. And once you buy it tonight with our flex pay, and you pay it off in 5 months, but you get it right away with our flex pay, you don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. And I will tell you, I used to have stacks and stacks and stacks of paper because I had an old-fashioned shredder and it would overheat. It was strong, but it would overheat so quickly. So I would give up, but I was so afraid to throw these papers away until I switched to my Embassy, and you know what? I love it. And you want to make sure and get the one that has the back feed, because most shredders out there only feed in the front. They do a couple pages. This is 130 pages that you literally set and walk away, and 10 pages in the front at the exact same time if you need it to be. Bill, I know you've got some more features, and I know you've got some interesting stats for us too. Where do you want to go into next?
Oh, I went to get the mail. Hold on, I'll be right back. Because this is the best part. It's doing all the shredding while I stepped away.
Right.
It just, okay, I went fishing. But the poor part about this is while I have other stuff to do, like, you know, go get the mail or something like that, this kept shredding. And you notice it's not overheating, it's not jamming like you were talking about. So it allows us to do other things. And the thing is, yes, the junk mail. I love how you're talking about just the address. Holiday card. I love this. Thank you for the card. But my information is on this, so I don't want that out in the trash can. Because think of it this way. You mentioned your brother, Marlo Smith, myself. 1 in 7 of us fall victims to identity theft. And the crazy part about it is, most of us don't know it happened to us until it's too late. Until we're sitting at the car dealership and we don't get that financing that they were talking about. And that's why the Federal Trade Commission, the government, is even telling us there's many steps we can take to reduce the risk of being an identity theft victim. Guard your social security number. We've heard that for years, right? But shred charge receipts, shred credit applications, and other sensitive documents. That other, it's going to be different not just for every household, but every person in the household. Someone's going through medical stuff. Someone's got, paycheck stubs, legal stuff. All our information's on here, and a little bit in the wrong hands can do tons of damage. And I know a lot of us used to do this. Bathroom garbage can, kitchen garbage can. It all ends up out at the curb. And actually, if you're like me, you know what I used to do, Suzanne? I used to take this stuff to the office because they had a better shredder than I did.
Yeah, right.
And I have not been to the office in a year, and so things have gotten backed up. But also the fact that we're working from home, this is work information. So I'm protecting my identity, I'm protecting corporate information, and that's also because, yes, I gotta print this stuff off and have it at home now. But I don't want it anymore because I don't want that clutter.
That's a
Shred
great
it
point.
and get rid of it.
I mean, think about that, guys, just before you go on, how many of you are working from home, which is a ton of, even including my husband, and you work in a very sensitive business, and you can't afford to allow some of that information to get out, or any of it to get out, by the way. And maybe you're printing out emails. If someone gets a hold of that, do you know what they can do to that company? So if you're working from home and you're just being lackadaisical about that paperwork, please don't be. For me, it's all about the mail. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't want people to see anything that I get that has anything with my name and my address on it. I just don't want that. Here's what's crazy. I keep getting this phone call, and they keep calling, and it's a scam call. And they say to me, hey, by the way, we want to confirm your address. And they've got part of my address, and before they can even finish, I'm hanging up and trying to block them. Where are they getting the information? And all they need to figure out is just a little bit more of my address. And then I'm really curious, and it just happened today again, what are they going to do with it once I accidentally tell them what it is? Well, you don't want that to happen. And it can so easily happen simply from the trash you throw out. Guys, it's fair game. If you go out to your alley or your front door or your front driveway and someone's picking through your trash, you cannot tell them to get out of it. They have legally the right to be picking through it. They might go away, but still, they can do it. And that's how they're going to get your information. And tax time is the prime time for them to be looking for it, because they know that we're all throwing out junk after we get done with our taxes, or maybe we're going back and finally getting rid of taxes from 7 years ago we don't have to keep anymore. Maybe it's old checkbooks and checks, your return checks, or maybe it's this, you know how when you write a check and you get the duplicate copy, all of those, and you're just like, man, I've been collecting these for 20 years. Shred them, shred them, shred them. Once you get rid of it, no kidding, you have an incredible peace of mind. You don't have that little guy on your shoulder going, oh, you probably shouldn't throw that out. Or how many of you take a black marker and try to cross everything out? Even any bills I get from HSN, you know how you get the shipping stuff inside the boxes? From anywhere I shop, I shred those as well, because guess what? It's got vital information about me on them, and I don't want anybody to get a hold of it. I know you don't want to either. Guys, this is our last and final presentation. You do not have another chance at this. At midnight, the price is gonna go up, and it's not just like 10 bucks, you know? It goes up to $184. The retail is $216. Just the unit itself retails for $210. We bonus in another $6, $7 of the extra goodies with this. And again, this is exclusive. If you want the champagne gold, so here's the update. In the champagne gold, I've got about 150 left, so this one's gonna be gone pretty quickly. Let me tell you why I like the black personally. Think of a house. You go down a road and you look at a house that has white picket fence and you go, oh, cute, what a cute white picket fence. When you go past a house that has black wrought iron, you go, oh, how elegant, and it almost disappears. And that's what I think the black is all about. So if you have, and you have to leave it out, I happen to have mine closed in a shelving area, but if you have to leave it out, the black almost disappears from the room. You really won't notice it. So that's why I would recommend the black to many people. And then finally, we've got the silver. That's our third choice. And I only now have 3 left because we've sold out of all the other colors. So great choices. We bring in more of these 3 than any other. good time to be able to pick it up with the price, with the 4 Flex, and certainly saving, what, about $18 in just the shipping alone, because you've got to buy it now, though. You can't wait till midnight, because all that's going to change. All right, Bill, let's talk about some other things, too, because I don't think people really understand how concerned they should be about allowing their information out.
Well, that's just it. You painted a great picture, because it is out there. And when we launched the brand, it used to be 1 in 10 of us were victims of identity theft. And now it's gone up to 1 in 7. Because yes, all this junk mail that's pre-filled out for my convenience, but I don't need it or want it, I can't just throw it away, but a lot of us do. And then they get the last 4 digits of something from this piece and, you know, the maiden name on this piece, and they call the 1-800 number with your, like, account number on your invoice, and they're like, oh yeah, this is Mrs. Runyon or Mr. Runyon. And then you're off and running to the races. By the way, being a Today Special and the fact that this ships for free is great. Recycle the cardboard. Don't recycle your mailing address and your label. Look what this can do. This is dense cardboard, right? I can actually be shredding in the back, take the cardboard, it'll go right through that corrugated cardboard too. That's the power of what you're getting. The multitasking capability just makes it a breeze. Because this is what happens. You mentioned taxes. Yes, I get to get rid of this box of taxes because it's expired. But look at my taxes. They're huge, right? I can't, luckily I have the auto feeder. I can load it up because I can't even throw away this old boxes of taxes because all that information, my social security numbers never changed. Some of those accounts I still have. But you know what I can throw away with peace of mind? These are my taxes. Look at that. You can't identify anything on there. It looks like I missed the party. Or actually, maybe I used it for packing material because you can do that too because it is a secure, smaller shred. Because remember, if you're still shredding with something like this, it's 50-year-old technology that you're trusting your credit score and your identity to. Upgrade from this, upgrade from crosscut. Get that micro cut. It's a smaller shred, so they can't piece it together. It's more dense, so I can actually shred more and not fill up the bin nearly as fast. You see all 130 pages? I could have gone on and done other things. I could have gone back to watching TV, go back to my craft project if I'd like to. But more importantly, on the daily, when more stuff comes in, when I discover more stuff in this drawer and that box, I can just get rid of it. Because it's a clutter buster, it's protecting my identity, and it's also about privacy. I mean, have you ever, taken a piece of paper and crumpled it up and thrown it away, and then the next day your garbage can sucked over because it was a windy night, and then let's see what happens. Oh yeah, my legal information's in the neighbor's yard, or paycheck stub. Don't do that. Let the privacy be taken care of, let the security be taken care of, and see why these are customer picks. It's not because they're complicated, it's because it's refined and it's efficient and it does one job and it does it very well. Yet people rave about it. And all 130 sheets, it's done. It could not have been any easier, which allows me to do other things. But when I do need to shred, whether it's work information, private and personal, kids and seniors are actually more susceptible to identity theft. So if you got those in the household, they can benefit from one of these. I personally love this. I've used it all the time because I've come back from, a week away or a weekend away and all this junk mail. I pull out the stuff I need, and the stuff that I don't need, I've truly loaded up those junk mail flyers, and I've gone to starting the laundry, starting doing the dishes, other things that we all need to get done, and I know it works. I have not had to sit here and be like, oh my gosh, is it gonna work? Is it gonna jam? Is it gonna overheat? Boom. It just went through how many pieces of envelopes? And that's why people appreciate Embassy and what it delivers. But I gotta tell you, being that it's a Today Special, you have some extras. You have that nice shiny luster finish in terms of whatever color you pick up. It's not a flat, it's a refined look. You have a larger pull-out drawer. It's 5.5 gallons, not in the 3 range like most waste bins are in our households. It's also a taller, narrower fit. So it's not as low to the ground as some people might have had issues with it before because they have to bend over to feed it. It sits nice and tall. Every one of these is on casters. There's even a built-in light inside so you can see when it gets illuminated. And being a Today Special, it's all shipping for free. And we've even included 6 lubricant sheets and a bin liner. And those lubricant sheets are great because, after a big purge or, right at the beginning of tax season maybe, you take out one of these sheets, there's oil inside of here. So instead of having to get oil and drip it in and all that kind of stuff, you just place in either front or back that envelope, and then you kind of let it stop. Leave it overnight, maybe just leave it there till you shred the next time. All the oil's in that envelope are going into the gears. So it's gonna just, kind of like if you went on a road trip, you give a car a quick tune-up, right? That's what I'm doing because I know, even though my desk is finally cleared off, all those envelopes and junk mail are gone, more is gonna come in. And I'm gonna be ready and I'm gonna just tackle it like no other because I have the right tool in my home. Even if you got it home for the 30 days, tried it out. All of a sudden you're like, wow, shredding is that simple? It never was before. And you're gonna see why it is, because whether it's 2020 that you want to get rid of and don't think about again, it's that stack that you found. I haven't been holding on to this stuff. Actually, Suzanne, quick story. I was cleaning because, I was getting ready to go on TV, had to clean the office and all this stuff.
Right.
I found this checkbook from 1990s.
Oh my gosh.
And it's been fun going through it. There's department stores that aren't even open anymore. And the thing is, these are all my canceled checks. I can't even throw away these 30-year-old checks because I still have that bank account.
Right.
My full name and
absolutely.
address are on here.
No,
So
that's
just
a big
take this
deal.
stuff, load it up. Yep. And it feels good to get rid of it.
And here's something I want to show you too. We've got this one that's actually feeding the feeder here, and it's doing it automatically, right? So before, what would you do? You had a big stack, and then you just groan, and you just let it pile up and up and up and up. And you're like, man, that's gonna take so much time for me to actually shred all this stuff, right? Well, instead of doing this, wouldn't you just like to leave that and go, oh, okay, I'm gonna leave that, let it do it on its own, and then I'm gonna go do something that I really would enjoy, like, I don't know, hang out with the grandkids, or do something fun with my husband or your partner. For me, there's so much more to do than standing over a shredder and shredding one single piece at a time. It takes forever, thus we don't do it. And we don't do it, it's like a domino effect, it starts to pile up. And then where do you hide the piles? In the attic, in the basement, in tubs. You've got stuff just jammed in drawers. You open up a closet and the whole shelf's full of paperwork that you just have been afraid to throw out because you haven't had an effective way to get rid of it. This is the answer. I'm telling you, it's a crazy good clutter buster. You just feel so, it's almost like when you really scrub your floors clean and you walk into your kitchen and go, oh my gosh, my kitchen smells so good, it looks so fresh. You'll feel the exact same way when you start getting rid of years of paperwork. And even for me, even though I don't have years of paperwork anymore, it's the everyday buildup. It's amazing how much junk mail we get that has a ton of information in it that I have to shred. And I rely on my embassy. I'll tell you, you buy this one time, you will not regret it. And if you do, you can always send it back in 30 days, but this is your chance because it is our best value of the day. We do not have it slated to be on the air again for the rest of the year. It might be, but I have no idea when. On top of that, you're getting 5 flex. You're getting free shipping on this. That's another almost $18 savings. So you're not plunking out $129. With a major credit card, you'll pay it off in 4 months. It ships right away. It's $32.50. And we popped up a couple reviews, but I want to read one specifically that I love. And this is a gal from Pennsylvania. Love the fact you can load up to 130 sheets and forget about it. Also, the security of this puts your mind at ease. Another gal, this is Peach in Georgia. I'm in love. This is all caps with an exclamation point. Love that it holds 130 sheets of paper without me having to sit by and feed it. Just load and go. Yeah, 100% right. Tracy in North Carolina. My first microcut shredder, and I'm obsessed. Worth every penny to switch from Crosscut. It really is, and it's funny that we get so enthusiastic about a paper shredder. You're like, really, people? But once you get the embassy at home and it just marvelously does its job, you're like, oh my gosh, I love this thing. Had a friend of mine, her husband Doug, he's obsessed with shredding as well, and I said, please tell me he's got the embassy. Buy him the embassy with the multi-feed in the back, because they don't have this. And I said, look, if he's as obsessed with it as I am, he will go crazy with the multi-feed in the back. That is just the icing on the cake. Most powerful, largest capacity that we've ever offered, and literally years and years of use. And I'm gonna turn it sideways. So those of you who are kind of, home decor conscious, I want you to see, while it's the largest capacity, look how thin it is. So this sits right against a wall. For me, I have it on a shelf, and I have 2 doors that close in front of mine, and it still fits. So look how thin that that is. So I actually shut mine behind doors, and you can do that according to your shelf size. And my shelf is a good old IKEA typical shelf, just so you'll know. And that's where I have mine stored. But tonight's your night to be able to get that peace of mind, to get rid of all that clutter. I mean, come on, are you drowning in old bills, old paperwork, old medical records, old checks, your return checks? It is so freeing to just start shredding it all. Other machines get too hot, they burn out, you have to wait for an hour for them to cool down, then you're back at it. Most machines aren't gonna let you feed 130 sheets while you're not doing it, and then 10 more sheets in the front at one time. I mean, that's pretty incredible. Bill, what else do you wanna go into? What else do you wanna talk about?
Well, that's just it. The incredible features that Embassy puts in here, it's because they know shredders. They make 1-in-4 shredders in the market. So they know that we want it to be efficient. If this was just a 10-sheet shredder with microcut, it would be worth it. But they up the game with the bigger bin, also with that auto dock feeder. Because you know what? It happens. Is it always going to be 130 sheets? Not necessarily. It could be 30, it could be 40. But let me tell you, I got better things to do than, sit here and go through 40 sheets at a time. Because I want to get up and play tennis or go crafting or, go to the St. Patrick's Day parade when they come back. But that's where it gets us out of the office, but we're not forgetting about how important this is. Suzanne, we have a lot of things that we sell at the network. Not many that the federal government even recommend that we get. And they recommend we get a shredder because, yes, our information is out there. One of the #1 complaints is about identity theft. And right now during tax season, 49% of all identity theft happens right now. This is a nice tall unit. It has some heft to it, which is why it's on casters. But you look at all this stuff that's being sent to you and always in our homes, the receipts, the credit card offers, the bank applications. The one thing that's gonna come to your door and shipped to you for free is this big box that this is gonna arrive in. Even all those boxes, whether it's an HSN box or from somewhere else, has our identity on it. So recycle what you can, don't recycle the information. I mean, even that barcode, there's an app that can read that. I can take that cardboard, goes through the cardboard, keeps going in the back. It has one job and it just does it so superbly, where all of a sudden shredding is not a chore. It's actually, okay, hi, what else can I shred? Because it does start to feel good. It's like shredding therapy. It's very cathartic.
It is therapy. Right? I swear to you, that's a great way to put it. Honest to goodness, they should do a whole thing called shredding therapy. There's just something wonderful about seeing that information that I worry about. I guess it's because my fears just dissolve every time I see that thing work.
And the thing is, it's important to see it work. And that's why one of our reviewers called it the instant gratification window, because you can see it go in. And that's the evolution. That's crosscut. But watch what happens. You're going to get more teeth. The gears are going to get bigger because you're getting a more powerful, productive unit with microcut. And that's just the front. Realize those 130 sheets in the back are going to go through it like butter. And these finishes, I keep going back to it, because we don't always get to offer it. If you do leave it out, it's going to look good. If it is in your office and waiting area, it's going to look nice and perform well. And actually, I love sharing that story. I sent one of these to my family's business because I went and visited once and was making copies. And all of a sudden I had extras. And I turn around, the shredder's right there. Permanent marker written across the front, only 3 pages at a time, because anything more would jam it or overheat it. And they were excited to get more shredding capacity. Then they realized it had the auto tray. They were ecstatic. And I gotta tell you, it's a piece of office equipment. It's not like, a new pair of shoes or a handbag. But when we're excited about office equipment, that just shows you that it's quality, that it's good. Because we're all inundated with more stuff and junk, stuff we've held on to, stuff we can get rid of. Some stuff we need to keep for a little while, but like our taxes after 7 years, you can purge, and the purge does feel good. Make room for more stuff, which is great, but we always are getting inundated with information out there, and a little bit of information in the wrong hands can do a lot of damage. Because when it happened to me, I didn't realize it had been there until I went to the financial aid window in college and asked for my check for my sophomore year, and like, you don't qualify this year. I'm like, excuse me? And the thing is, I didn't even know I had an identity or credit scores and all that. And someone had gotten my social security number and done some damage, unpaid whatever's. And then all of a sudden my account was on hold. We don't want to live life on hold. We've done that this year. We're not going back, right? We want to start this year off and just do it right and use the right piece of equipment. It looks good. It performs great. It's the most powerful. And we'll have Embassy again because you guys do love the brand. But is it going to have all the features? Is it going to have 130 sheet of auto shredding? Is it going to have that shiny finish? And more importantly, is it going to ship to you for free? That's, I mean, a huge saving in and of itself. So take advantage of that today in and of itself.
Well, and I did also love our Flex. If you're brand new to HSN,
Right.
I'll explain it briefly. If you have a major credit card or PayPal, everyone could use Flex. You don't need to be a special member or anything like that. In this case, you'll spread your payments out over 4 months, but it ships right away. And you have 30 days to love it, or I always say leave it at the post office so you can send it back to us, and we're gonna refund your money. But this is the time to get the offer because it doesn't go up at midnight a few bucks. It goes up substantially. In fact, it'll be almost $184.99. And you know what? It's still worth it. How many of you know someone, do you know someone who's had their identity stolen? I know multiple people that it's happened to, and it can be very costly, not just in time, but in dollars. Trying to rebuild a bad credit score is really hard and complicated. You have to prove it, you gotta get a whole bunch of stuff involved. So isn't it worth one flex pay to get this home and try it out, not to have to go and have that kind of problem? I mean, think about it. If you've known anybody who's had it happen to them one time, it can be years of trying to rebuild their credit score and their reputation and trying to track down, which is hard to do, whoever stole the information in the first place. It's so costly, time and money and effort. Just buy this and stop worrying about it. You know, we got plenty we can worry about. Why would we worry about the information that we're just handing to people because we're throwing it away without shredding it? All right, if you want the gold, this is your last chance. It will be sold out before midnight. You want to get the gold now. Do not wait any longer. We have 24 left. Now, what I'll have remaining after that is the black. I like the black because for home decor purposes, to me, it just seems to almost dissolve away in any room. It doesn't clash or anything. It almost becomes invisible, like a black fence in front of a house versus a white fence. White fence, you notice, oh, look at that pretty picket fence. Black fences are elegant and they almost seem to dissolve into the landscape. So I would recommend black if you're concerned about matching your decor. Finally, the last color I'll have here in a second is gonna be the silver. Now, it's important to realize, especially if you're watching for the first time, this deal ends at midnight East Coast time. So at midnight, the price is gonna go to the full price, and I might have a few available tomorrow, but it's gonna be a lot more expensive, and who wants to spend more when we don't have to? Plus, we have the 4 Flex, and right now we have free shipping. All right, the gold's sold out, so completely ignore that one. I've got these 2 left, and now it's gonna be kind of a domino effect to try to get one of the last 2 before they're gone as well. I got a couple more minutes, Bill, but I do wanna go back over, I mean, it's interesting, the government, as long as I've been on the air, the government recommends 2 things. Filter your air in your home for air purifiers and shredders, and really good shredders, not just those lame old shredders.
And that's just it, because actually when you were talking about the identity theft, how it's on the rise, so
Yeah.
the federal government, the Federal Trade Commission tells us, you know, guard your social security number, but then shred. Charge receipts, shred credit applications, and other sensitive documents. We all have that other in our home, whether we're working from home or not, because it comes in the mail, it's in drawers, shred it. Microcut shred it. Don't use that shred from 50 years ago. Upgrade. And make it easier on yourself. Get that auto shred tray in the back. Because when you get a stack of 10, 12, 130 sheets, you just load it up and let it do its job. And Suzanne, it was very important. You talk about what happens when you are a victim. A lot of us think, I just got to call the credit card company or the 3 credit bureaus. You have to fill out this 85-page document with the Federal Trade Commission and then babysit that for years to come. We have better things to do with our time, and this is your first line of defense, because our identity is related to the credit score and all of that. We don't want to have it on lockdown, and that's why the government warns us. But I also just got to tell you, from a spring cleaning perspective, all this stuff that we have in our offices, our homes, it kind of starts to bury us alive when we can manage it and stay on top of it and be smart about it in terms of shredding. That's where it gives us peace of mind at the end of the day too. The quality is there. You'll see why all our embassy shredders, whether they're the auto shred, whether they're the matte finish or whatever, they're all customer picks because of what they deliver. They know shredding. They know we want to be able to tuck it away. They put them all on wheels. They know we want a secure shred, so we get microcut. Not all of them are going to be able to ship for free. That is because it's a today's special, and we still give you a great care package too, with 6 lubricant sheets, a bin liner, because you can line the bin. And remember, this bin, 5.5 gallons, largest one we ever do. So this is my waste bin in my office as well. So it's a kind of a 2-for-1. And then I shut that door and I shred when I need to shred, and it just keeps going. It is cathartic. It is like shredding therapy, and you have that proof right here. that tax document, that, you know, old record that I don't want and don't want anyone to see what I got on my medical record, I can see it just get disappeared. By the way, there's a light even on the inside, just like a refrigerator, so I can make sure that is gone. And that's where it does feel good, because you know the quality and the performance are there. But then when you see everything disappear, you're like, I should have done this a long time ago.
No kidding. Oh my goodness, yeah. And you'll never, and honestly, I'll be very surprised if you regret it. If you do, you can send it back, but you really won't. All right, Bill, Duggan, happy St. Patty's Day tomorrow.
Thank you very much. You have a good one too.
It's so good to see you. I love the green head start. I have tomorrow to wear green. All right, thanks, buddy. Good to see you.
Take care.
All right, and the champagne's gone, so ignore that. We have black, we have silver, and you only have until midnight to take advantage of the special savings and our special exclusive offer. Hey, by the way, I hope you can join me. I'm not done yet. If you can't get enough of me, please come join me. Go to HSN's Facebook page, our corporate Facebook page, HSN, and I'm going to be doing what's called our crafting after show. It starts at 10:30 East Coast time, and it's really intimate. It's really cool. I'll feature 2 items that have never been seen on the air before, and Beth Kingston's going to rejoin me. We're going to explore a couple of her items as well, and it's really interactive and super fun. So it's called the HSN on HSN Facebook. It's live, and it's the after show with me and some great guests. Also coming up.